The rabbit is good, the rabbit is wise. The date is currently 12/12/2016. Time is 1:14 a.m. I just went to take in a sharp inhale and breathe there, but something felt different when I did that. I think my ears are messing with me tonight. Anyway, made some fresh pasta tonight, fresh whole wheat pasta. It was really goddamn good. I made it a point to flatten out the pasta a little bit more than I did last time, because last time I made fresh pasta, it felt like the strands were a little bit thick. So, I wanted to make sure to really get them as thin as I possibly could, which is kind of difficult without a pasta maker. I'm using a rolling pin and a knife, and, making fettuccine. And it's just a very labor-intensive process, but I'm actually all for just cooking all of my meals now, from scratch, all of them from scratch, using all whole ingredients. I know this just sounds like such a douchebag thing, but that's how I want it to be from now on. Just because I can just see the benefit of it, because my skin is just so much fucking clearer, and like I'm thinner around my waist. Really just thinner everywhere. So there's no reason not to. And the fucking food is delicious. People always say that diets are hard, but I was never really a fan of like overly sugary foods anyway. Like cakes and stuff, I just never, because, the filling and, like, fucking tasty cakes and fucking, like, Twinkies and all that stuff, like, that filling just does nothing for me, and it never did, so, in that regard, I guess I'm kind of, like, lucky that, I'm not into sugar like that, but, yeah, I don't know, this is getting into fucking douchebag territory, so I better just stop. We're getting into Joe Rogan territory. Because he's like, kettlebells and fucking, I don't know what I'm trying to do there, of Joe Rogan. Yeah, you gotta drink the kale shakes. You gotta drink the kale shakes. There's something about his voice that's like very high, but, you gotta drink the kale shakes. I can't do his voice. Wow, that's coming up very harshly on the waveform, so I better stop doing that one. You gotta drink the kale shakes. Okay. I went for a run today. It was a good run. During the run today, I saw this lady. She was driving. She was like parking her car, but there was a cat like headed right towards the car that she was parking. And I was like, hold on, wait, stop. And, she stopped. Because, the cat was like almost right next to the wheel, about to get crushed. And I said to her, there's a cat right next to your wheel. She was like, oh, all right. She said, is it still there? I was like, and I took a look around, and I didn't see the cat. So I was like, nah, it's fine now. But then later on during that run, I arrogantly thought that, I must be the type that could be like a superhero. Because I just think just arrogant things all the time. I thought, I'm the type that sees things coming that nobody else sees. I think it was some like one of those fucking science networks on TV, like Discovery Science or something. And this was like a couple years ago, so I don't even know if that channel exists anymore. It probably does. But there was this thing where it's like they said there's some types of people that can like see things coming before anybody else sees them happening. And I just saw this cat making a fucking, it was across the street at this point, but just somewhere in me I saw it, sensed that it was going to go right towards the fucking car. And I was like, stop! So, I just arrogantly thought, yeah, there it is. There you go. I'm the superhero. I got the superhero one. By one, I mean mind there. Yeah. I was it a couple weeks ago? I was watching this thing with Mario Batali. He was like cooking for people. And there was this one guy there. I don't know if he was from this video, because I'm actually Wombly. You might remember this. During one of those blog TV hangout things, Gump pulled up this video of this dude that was doing like these really awkward interviews, but he was being awkward intentionally, like, and just I said something like, this guy is the greatest actor I've ever seen in my life. And, I can't be sure, but I think Mario Batali in this episode, it's like called Munchies or something. I mentioned it in another journal somewhere. I can't be sure, but I think the guy that one of the guys Mario Batali was serving was that guy, like the guy doing the awkward interviews. And I have no idea who that guy is. But it's just those some circles. I don't know what I'm saying now. It's just like those like SNL now is like, I don't know. It's just, it isn't fucking. It's the same problem that Vice has actually. And Munchies and all that shit associated with Vice and just SNL now. It's being edgy for the sake of being edgy. When, it's just like, I'm getting into Italian cooking now. And the fucking foundation of Italian cooking is good ingredients and fucking like, keeping it simple. And I think, that sort of philosophy should apply to life too. And, when you have fucking like Vice, like just, like you can tell they're trying too hard. And just stop fucking trying so hard. It makes me uncomfortable when you're trying too hard. And I know sometimes you can't help but try too hard, but you could just sense that they're trying too hard for like selfish reasons to be like, oh, we're the cool. They're trying too hard to be cool is the problem. And fuck being cool. Fuck that. Who the hell wants to be cool? What a dumb thing to be. Just be yourself. And that's the coolest thing you could possibly fucking be is yourself. And, there's just fucking stop. I'm begging you. I'm to the point of begging you because it's so just grating every time I see it. Just stop trying to be cool. And I'm telling you, I'm telling this all to myself right now. I always listen back to these things and just the things that I say about people in general. And it's always me telling this thing to myself. 'Cause, I wouldn't be as, like, impassioned or whatever that fucking word is. I wouldn't be as, as adamant about it if it weren't about me, because, I don't care, who do I care more about other than myself? So how could I possibly be as, passionate about what I'm saying if it weren't about just myself? And, I think sometimes that, you see sometimes things that you think are, characteristics of you, or maybe there's like a tiny bit of something in you that you see in somebody else. And, the thing that you see in somebody else is, like, maybe also small, but it just gets blown out of proportion in your mind. Yeah, so I jump topics too easily. But that was like sort of a humble brag thing, because it's, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. This is strange territory here. I'm going to make a pizza tomorrow. I'm going to make a whole wheat crust pizza in the Naples style, that fucking the OG fucking Italian pizza. That's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Because I got the yeast, I got the whole wheat, I got I got to get the basil and the cheese, and, some more canned tomatoes. But, that's what I'm fucking doing tomorrow. Yeah, but today was good, so, got the run in, made fresh pasta, so, that's good. Fucking 1 minute left and I have nothing to say. This was kind of a scatterbrained one tonight, so just forgive me. Yeah, but I'm reduced to saying yeah, but, and just, my filler things that I say. We'll probably go back upstairs and write more lyrics. I got another line on the song. I'm only one line away from having the first song done, so that's, 2 songs done, 8 to go as far as the lyrics. And the reason it's taking so long is because I have very high standards of excellence. I demand greatness from myself. If I don't deliver greatness, then I don't deliver anything. Yeah, and see, I mean, you can say like, "Oh, do you expect too much of yourself?" But I think I think the key to anything good is just having extremely high standards, like Marco Pierre White, and I want to be more like Marco Pierre White, because ever since I saw his videos, I've just been obsessed with that sort of like attention to detail that he had about cooking, and I want to be in that. I want to be like I want that to apply to music too. So. All right. Goodbye. 10:30. Goodbye.